I have a pack of cards, and we'll show them, but they are actually all different. In fact, I'll show you, okay, so you can confirm this. I can go through them, and you can see that they're all different, okay. Now, I'm going to fan the cards out as sort of evenly as I can. Okay, that's pretty even. And I want you, first of all, to think of a card that you see there. Have you got a card in mind?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, don't forget that card. Just keep it in your head, all right? And now I'm going to give you the cards. And what I would like you to do is to cut them, okay? Cut them around about the middle. Just give them a cut and complete the cut, okay? Are you happy with that?
Yep.
All right, now you've had the cards in your hand. You've cut them yourself. So the top card of the pack is now a random card. I want you to slide it out. Don't look at it and put it in your top breast pocket, okay? So slide it out, put it in your breast pocket. All right, happy with that?
I'm happy with
Take
that.
the next card and put it in your left jacket pocket. All right, and take the next card and place it in your right jacket pocket. Happy with that?
I'm happy with that.
Fine. If you give me the cards. So you took the cards, you cut them, and you cut them around about the middle.
That's
and
right.
you randomly remove some cards. Now, if I'd cut about there, you would have had a jack of clubs and an ace of clubs and a 2 of diamonds, okay? If you'd cut a little bit deeper, you would have had a 7 of hearts and a 9 of clubs and a 10 of clubs. So in other words, you've got 3 random cards that nobody could possibly know in your pockets.
That's correct.
Well, the reality is I do know what you've got, because before the show I did exactly the same thing, and this is a demonstration of synchronicity. I took a pack of cards, I shuffled it up just like you did, and I cut the cards and I put 3 random cards into my pockets, okay? And in my top pocket I placed the 5 of diamonds. What did you place in your top pocket? 5 of diamonds. Into my left jacket pocket I placed the 6 of spades. What did you place? 6 of spades. And into my left jacket pocket I placed the Queen of clubs. And what do you have? The Queen of clubs. And into my inside jacket pocket I placed, if you got one in your inside, oh no, you haven't got one.
No.
Earlier on, though, I asked you to think of a card right at the very beginning, and I asked you to keep it in your head. Now, you were just thinking of a card in that pack. What card were you thinking of?
The ace of clubs.
Ace of clubs. And in my jacket pocket, I had the ace of clubs. Perfect synchronicity. We think alike. Well, I hope you enjoyed the performance of the Synchronicity pack. It was actually inspired by an effect by T.A. Waters, which was called Quintastic, and you'll find it in his book, Mind, Myth and Magic. It actually takes it in a very different direction, and I've hopefully streamlined things so that it all appears very clean and very hands-off. And there's some very important things that you need to note, and that is the performer, as the performer, you reveal your cards first. Every time you're taking your card out of the pocket before the spectator takes his cards out. The spectator chooses the cards himself, he cuts the pack and he removes the cards, and then of course you've got that nice climax at the end where you apparently reveal a card that he's just thinking about as well. So it all works very well together, and I used it many years as an opening routine. So how does it work? Well, first of all, before the show I've loaded my pockets with 3 sets of 3 cards. And when you get the package, you'll notice that there are 3 envelopes, and in those envelopes are 3 cards each, and they're duplicates of the cards you have in the stack. You'll notice that you'll have a low value card, a medium value card, and a high value card, and that's very important for the arrangement of the cards in your pockets. In my top pocket, you have the medium card closest to your body, then you have the high value card, and then the low value card. So when they're turned round, the medium value card is closest to my body. In my left pocket, you have medium, low, and high, okay? But this time, it is the high card that is closest to the body, okay? So reading from my body outwards, it's the Queen of clubs here, the 5 of diamonds, and the 6 of spades. So high, low, medium. All right, going outwards. And then finally in this pocket, the cards are arranged so that closest to my body is the low card, then the medium, and then the high card. Okay, so again, closest to the body is the low card, then the medium, then the high card. Now this may sound terribly complicated, but actually it's very simple. And I've got a little tip for you. I actually label the envelopes. So I know that in my top pocket, I've got these 3 cards, and I put a little star next to the 6 of spades because I know that that card is the one that's closest to my body. And I just keep the cards in those envelopes in the correct order. And so when I come to perform this effect, when I'm setting up, I just put those 3 cards in my pockets in the correct orientation. Now, if you're careful about your setting, when you do the routine, you don't have to worry about anything. It almost works automatically. So let's come to the main pack. All right, here's the main pack that sort of does all the work for you. You'll notice that the top half of the pack consists of those 3 cards repeated. So in my stack I have the 5 of diamonds, the 6 of spades and the queen of clubs, and then they're repeated again. So 5 of diamonds, 6 of spades, queen of clubs, all the way through to about the middle position. So 3 cards just repeated all the way through. And you'll notice that I've got low, medium, high, low, medium, high. The bottom half of the pack is actually just random cards. It's 26 random cards, except for the 13th card from the face of the pack. In my deck here, it's the ace of clubs. It may be different in your pack, but you will also have a duplicate card of the one that's in that 13th position. So in my case, I have a duplicate ace of clubs, which goes into your inside jacket pocket. So that you're now all set to do the effect. You have the duplicate in the inside jacket pocket. You have the 3 sets of 3 cards in your 2 jacket pockets and top pocket. You have a rotation of 3 cards stacked in the top half of the pack. And then the bottom half is random cards, with the 13th card being the duplicate of the one that's in the breast pocket. So that's the setup. You're now ready to perform. You get the spectator up and you talk maybe about synchronicity. And you're going to show the cards to the spectator. Now you can fan them out. I'm showing to you the camera, but the spectator here, you can cleanly fan out the cards and show him lots of cards because he's looking at the 26 or so indifferent cards. All right, they're all different. He can see that. He confirms that. You stop just before you get to about the halfway point. And in fact, during this part, as you're spreading them out, you're actually looking for your duplicate, in this case the ace of clubs. And whilst you're showing the cards, you casually cut your duplicate to the face of the pack. You now fan them out and you get him to think of a card. I'll come back to that a little bit later on. All right. So he's now thinking of a card and you now hand him the pack. Now, because you cut at the 13th card from the bottom, you have 13 indifferent cards on the top. Then you have your stack of 26 or so cards in the middle, and then you have another stack at the bottom. Sorry, you then have another group of 13 indifferent cards. So 13 indifferent cards on the top, 13 on the bottom, and sandwiched in the middle is that stack. So when you hand in the pack, you can ask him to cut the cards roughly in the middle, but he's actually got a very large leeway. He's got, you know, a huge space in the middle that he can cut. So he cuts the cards in the middle and he completes the cut. All right. You now take the cards back, he then removes the cards, and it's important that they go into the right pocket. So the top card will go into the first pocket, the breast pocket. The second card goes into this jacket pocket, and the third card goes into this jacket pocket. So in this case, the 5 of diamonds will go into his breast pocket, the 6 of spades will go into the left hand jacket pocket, and the queen of clubs will go into his right, which is exactly as it was during the performance. Now, of course, there could be a variation on this. It could be these cards going into any combination of pockets, and I'll talk about the variations in a moment. So he's now removed those 3 cards, and they have gone into his jacket pockets. You take the cards back, and you say you could have cut anywhere. Now, this deck of cards now has a unique property. The top 12 cards, okay, or sorry, less than that, it's, what is it, we've removed 3, so there's 10 cards here now. The top 10 cards are your stack. The bottom 13 or so cards are still stacked, but in the middle there are 26 indifferent cards. So if I now take the pack back and cut them again around about the middle, I can cleanly show that we've got different cards. So we had the 5 of clubs, ace of hearts and jack of diamonds. If he cut a bit deeper, he would have had the jack of spades, the 7 of clubs and the 6 of diamonds. So you can show lots of variations. Those cards now go away, and you're now in a clean position to remove all of the cards. All right. When he handed the cards back to you, before you cut to show all the indifferent cards, you casually note the bottom card. Now, when I casually noted a little earlier, I noticed the Queen of Clubs, which is my high value card. So now, all I've got to do, because of the rotation of the cards in these pockets, all I've got to do is remove the card that's furthest away from my body. And the reason it's the furthest away is because I've glimpsed the highest value card. So I looked at the Queen of Clubs, it's my highest value card, so I need to go to the furthest point away. If I'd glimpsed the 6 of spades, my medium card, my middle card, then from each pocket I would remove the middle card. And if I'd glimpsed my low card, the 5 of diamonds, then I would be taking the card closest to my body from each of the pockets. In other words, because of the rotation, because of the careful setting up before your performance, you don't have to think at this stage. You glimpse the bottom card. If it's a high value card, you remove the cards furthest away from your body, and you do that for every pocket. Medium card, you remove the middle card from every pocket. The low value card, it's the one closest to you. So you see, you don't have to think. You don't have to think about what was going on. So if we come back to that original explanation, I have glimpsed the Queen of Clubs on the bottom of my stack. So the 5 of diamonds is in this pocket, the 6 of spades is in this pocket, and the Queen of Clubs is in this pocket for the spectator. That's how the spectator's cards are arranged. Because I've glimpsed the Queen of Clubs, all I have to do is reach in and remove the card furthest away, which would match the 5 of diamonds. I do the same in this pocket. The card furthest away matches the 6 of spades, and of course in this pocket the card furthest away, it's the Queen of Clubs. All right. That careful setting up beforehand makes everything automatic. So take care when you're setting everything up. I would advise that you do label your envelopes. If you label your envelopes, then that's going to be very clean. You know that you can just put the cards in your pocket and you're utterly confident what's going to happen. Remember to glimpse that bottom card before you sort of show the cuts, and just remember whether it's your high card, your medium card, your low card, and everything else is automatic. So, how do we get that climax at the end where we get him to think of a card and we reveal what it is? Well, this is based on an effect that I actually first read in a book by Bruce Elliott, and it was based on an effect called Cagliostro's Spectacles, and it involves a rather subtle and rather bold procedure. I fan the cards out, I make a little adjustments just to show that it's a clean fan. I then show the fan to him and I say, think of any card you can see there. Well, the reality is that he can only see one card. He can see the ace of clubs, because what we've done there is a reverse fan. It's a blank fan, and he can only see the ace of clubs. So I fan the cards out and he looks at them. He thinks of a card, and the wording is very important. Look at the cards and think of any card you can see. And I'll even tap the face of the ace of clubs as I do it to sort of emphasize that point. All right? So you need to choose the right person. You need to choose someone who you think is going to play along with that. You know, it is an instant stooging effect, but it happens in the right place. You can still amaze them with the cards in the pockets, because that is a genuine effect. They're going to be impressed by that, and this really just creates a climax to it. All right, so it's a little climax at the end, which gives you that extra punch, and then you send the spectator back and you're on to your next effect. Okay, and that's important as well. You don't want to close with this. You don't want the spectator discussing it. You want to sort of carry on with your next effect, but you've got that clean effect already. You've got that clean reveal of a thought of card. And I tend to play act it just slightly. I say, and I place a card in my inner jacket pocket. Take out the one in your inner jacket pocket. Oh, you haven't got one. Oh, sorry, I remember. At the beginning, you just thought of a playing card. What was the card you were thinking of? He says ace of clubs. And I said, well, before the show, I put in my pocket the ace of clubs. Just gives you that closure, gives you that punch, gives you that climax. Hope you enjoy performing the synchronicity pack. It's a routine that I've used for many years. I find it very strong, and I think you will too. Now, you probably bought this routine because you're looking for the Holy Grail. You're looking for a perfect version of any card at any number, where you apparently don't touch the deck, where a spectator names any card and another spectator names any number. Well, the good news is that this version can deliver exactly that. The perfect effect. With no skill on your part, it's actually all done for you automatically. Let me show you what it looks like. We have a pack of playing cards. You approach a table. The cards are fanned out, so you do your best spread, and they are offered to a spectator. So you fan them and you show the fan to the spectator. So have a look at the card, sir, and just think of a card. Have you got one in mind?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Now, I also want you to think of a number between 1 and 52. It's entirely up to you what it is, okay? Now, there's your thought of card in here, and you've got a number in your mind as well. For the benefit of everyone else, name the playing card.
The 9 of spades.
The 9 of spades. And I would like you also to name the number.
7.
The number 7. You would then place the cards onto the table, and the spectator would then count the cards themselves, and they would count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th card. Now, he said the 9 of spades, and he then said the number 7, so we stop at the 7th card, which is indeed the 9 of spades. You have the perfect version with no skill and with no work. It works automatically. So you've just witnessed a perfect version of any card at any number, which actually approximates to the burglars effect. But it doesn't always work out like that. Let me show you what it would look like if you don't get the perfect scenario. All right, now bear in mind what you've just seen was the perfect scenario. There's just going to be one minor difference. And this difference is so minor that in the minds of the spectator, you can actually rewrite history to make it into the perfect effect. So this is the perfect effect. Well, almost. Again, the cards are going to be displayed to the spectator. You're going to fan them out so that every card is visible. You offer them up to a spectator and you say, sir, think of a card. Have you got one in mind?
Yes, I have.
Okay. You close the cards up. You also ask the spectator to think of a number. So think of a number. Okay. For the benefit of everyone here, name the card.
9 of spades.
And name the number.
5.
5. Now, you could have said any number between 1 and 52, but you happen to name the number 5. Cards go onto the table. The spectator is then asked to deal the cards down. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th card. You ask for the 9 of spades, and the 5th card down is the 9 of spades. Okay, this is a performance of the Miracle Pack. Pack of playing cards. You ask the spectator to cut off about half the cards. So if you just cut off half the cards and give them a shuffle, okay? And in a moment, I want you to fan the cards towards yourself, and I want you to think of any card you see in that spread, okay? So have a look at the cards and think of one. Tell me when you've got one in mind. Okay, you've got one?
I've got one in mind.
And now you've shuffled them again.
Yes.
Pop them back onto the top of the pack. Okay, so you've mixed the cards, you've shuffled them, and we're going to place them on the table. Okay, now I want you to name your card. Any card you like, the one you're thinking of in your mind. Which card are you thinking of?
The Jack of clubs.
The Jack of clubs. Okay, Jack of clubs. Watch carefully. No funny business, no sleight of hand. Jack of clubs. Now, hopefully you were impressed by what you've just seen. That is a miracle, surely. The spectator thinks of a card, he shuffles the cards, he puts them down on the table, he names his card, and Miraculously, it was the top card of the pack. Well, the way the miracle pack works is it doesn't always work that cleanly. But you have variations on methods. So let me show you now a variation on performance, which would be something like this. So cut off about half the cards, and I want you to shuffle them, mix them up, give them a good thorough mixing, look at them, and think of one card, any card you like. Got one in mind?
Yes, I have.
All right, shuffle them up again, and now put them back onto the pack. All right, they're back onto the pack. Now, you're thinking about your card. Name your card, okay?
9 of clubs.
The 9 of clubs. All right, I want you to watch very carefully because you've just mixed the cards. You've just shuffled them. And deal them down. Watch carefully. And we're going to spell 9, and then we're going to spell clubs. So N-I-N-E. And now clubs, C-L-U-B-S. And there's the 9 of clubs exactly where it should be. Bearing in mind that you mixed the cards and you could have thought of any one of these. Another miracle.